way to get more water is quit losing. So we can gain 30% more water just by fixing infrastructure. Rural parts of the state are much worse. Their infrastructure is much older. It's harder for them to find the funds to replace that. So this is going to be much needed relief for that. We have over 20 cities in Texas now using desal. None of them are on the coast. They are taking brackish water and cleaning it up. City of Granbury, Texas, Lake Granbury is too salty to use for drinking water or for irrigation. So they put in a desal plant. It's not as salty as the ocean, so it makes it more affordable. So we're using desal. The fracking in oil and gas industry is not using near as much fresh water anymore. They're recycling. They're using brackish water. They're allowing their produced water that comes out of the wells once they're producing to be used for irrigation water. So we're tackling it on many, many fronts.
Are there policies at the state level that you believe need to change now to prevent long-term harm to Texas agriculture when we're looking at the water crisis?
Yes, we have a problem with AI data centers taking up not only large amounts of water, but large amounts of our most fertile farmland and electricity and driving electricity rates up. So we got a problem there. There's no oversight. There's no regulation. There's no organization. They can just pop up. And you could kind of throw solar farms and data mining centers in the same group. Since they're mostly located in counties don't have any ordinance-making authority. So it's just kind of the wild, wild west. I'm not one that likes more regulation. I believe in giving, incentives. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a proposal to create agriculture freedom zones. And through these freedom zones, if you would locate in one of those, our less productive land, arid land, brown fields, anywhere but our most fertile land, we will give you incentives like deferred capital gains, accelerated depreciation, and that would move them out of our fertile land. Now, we do have a way to eliminate the use of water and large amounts of electricity. They're called SMRs. They'll be coming on the soon very quick. They're nuclear reactors, small modular reactors, similar but not the same that we use on our submarines and aircraft carriers. These are much, much safer, even though we've never had an accident in 60 years that we've used those. So those can be installed below ground, out of sight, and they will actually generate enough electricity. These data centers can put electricity back on the grid, which would be very, very, we need a little extra. Yeah. And they don't have to use water to be cooled. They can be cooled with hydrogen or liquid salt. So that would eliminate all three problems with these data centers and solar farms and crypto mines.
Another concern that remains for many Texans is food affordability. What specific steps can the state take to strengthen agriculture while also helping bring down grocery prices?
Well, we've had some experience of that. We had the egg crisis, just as eggs got to an all-time high, just as Donald Trump took office. I made a visit to Washington, D.C., to sit down with Secretary Brooke Rollins, who's from Texas, and I told her, I said, we have secured 700 containers of eggs from Turkey. And, if you want to lower the price of eggs, go get some more eggs. And these were at a very reasonable price, and almost immediately when we did that, we saw the price of eggs come down. Now, we can produce eggs real quick and chicken real quick, but the problem is beef, high prices of beef.
Right.
So the president's remedy was to buy quadruple the amount of beef we're getting from Argentina.
Right.
It's the only time I've disagreed with him, but I had to contact and say, whoa, this is a problem because we already have an agriculture trade deficit of $50 billion. We're buying $50 billion more food than we're selling. And this makes that problem worse. And to solve the beef shortage, we need more cattle, more mama cows. Mm-hmm. I said, to do that, let's open up federal grazing lands. Under the Biden administration, because of his Green New Deal, they kicked all the ranchers off federal land. So there's 24 million acres of land idle. I said, open up some of that land so we'll have a place to go with our cows during the drought. We won't have to sell them. We could put retain heifers and have a place to graze them. So they took that almost immediately. Secretary Doug Burgum immediately opened up 5 million acres to grazing for our ranchers. So that's helped retain the cattle herd. I said, also, you could do a heifer retention tax credit. Mm-hmm. Pay that farmer, I don't know, $500 for every heifer he'll keep back and grow the herd. they could use a tax deduction. They're making a little money. So they haven't done that yet. And then I told them, if you really want to lower the price of beef overnight, open the Texas-Mexican border to the 1,200,000 head that are waiting to get in. We actually get 15% of our cattle herd from Mexico. They walk in on the hoof. They graze our wheat, graze our hay meadows, go into our feedlots, and we turn that into beef and sell it back to Mexico. But since the New World screwworm we just talked about, that border has been shut down. So that is exasperated the cattle shortage. You have to be very careful of opening that border because you could actually crash the market. It has to be opened in a very wise, systematic way.
Interesting. So, Commissioner Miller, what's the biggest misconception Texans have about why food prices remain high?
Well, I think they think that farmers get subsidies. We haven't done farm subsidies in about 30 years. We used to do that, paying farmers not to farm and stuff like that. That was not the best way to do it, in my opinion. We have graduated to allowing farmers to buy crop insurance. So to keep from going out of business, farmers are allowed to, through the federal government's help. They don't subsidize the farmers. They do subsidize the insurance companies some.
Great afternoon. We have a problem here in Texas, a possible screwworm infestation. It's not here yet in Texas. They say it's coming. They got traps out for the screwworm. The screwworm fly. The screwworm fly, the larva, the maggot eats raw living flesh, people. It's nasty. They burrow in to mammals, cows, pets, even humans. If you have a scratch or something, and they eat your flesh from the inside out. Nasty. Another problem we have here is now they're saying Houston could have a problem with its shortage of water. Another problem we have here they're talking about on talk radio is the data centers that are exploding and causing a problem with electrical shortages. Another problem they're talking about, again, with the screwworm is the cost of beef has gone up. We have a shortage of beef already. So with this screwworm coming from Mexico and Central America, if that hits, it'll destroy our whole beef industry here in Texas. And they're having problems with a shortage of eggs, believe that or not. So it's time for us to be more self-sustainable with all these new problems we're having, especially here in Texas, as you heard on talk radio as I run my errand. So y'all have a nice day.